Archery hunters, listen up. If you find yourself in the heart of King County, do yourself a favor and stop in at Rock Creek Archery, located in Tukwila. They have everything you need if you're just beginning to the sport or you've been shooting for 20 years, even an indoor shooting range. Or check them out at rockcreekarchery.com.
This section of the broadcast is brought to you by Burpaw, burpaw.com.
Use Ridge15 at checkout to receive a sweet discount.
Hey everybody, if you are looking for a game call that is elk, turkey, deer, predator calls, waterfowl calls, we highly recommend PhillipsGameCalls.com. Professional grade game calls made for every hunter.
Welcome back to the Ridgeline Hunting Podcast, brought to you by Phelps Game Calls, with your hosts, David Crane and David Sandana.
All right, everybody. We have a special guest on, one of our friends, Kirk Douglas. Kirk, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. How are you guys?
We're doing good. We're just a month out from turkey season, so we're getting jacked up.
Oh yeah, man. I am too. I got a little something up my sleeve for them bastards this year.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
I have to speak up on this. What is that you have up your sleeve?
Well, the first thing I have up my sleeve is a tag in Kansas.
Oh, nice.
So a very good friend of mine is he's a CRO in the Air Force, and he's out going through a course in Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, a leadership course. He'll be a line officer pretty soon. He'll be a colonel in the Air Force. So he's going through this program, the leadership program, and he's leaving to Hawaii. He's going to be stationed in Hawaii for like 3 or 4 years. And me and him and his dad hunted together. And we all, it's a good deal. I really enjoy hunting with him. And he's a guy that killed a sheep down here a couple of Decembers ago now.
Oh, wow.
He drew a desert bighorn sheep tag in Arizona with 0 points.
Oh my gosh!
Don't say that too loud.
So
check.
Needless to say, he's going to be in Hawaii, so our hunting days are numbered at least for a few years. I'm kind of hoping he moves back to Tucson after he finishes his military service, which I know they like it here. But anyway, they're leaving in June to go to Hawaii, so. Me and his dad are flying out there, and we're going to turkey hunt for a week in April, and it won't be too long after that before he ships out to Hawaii. So got that going. Got of course, over-the-counter turkey tags in New Mexico, and yeah, I'm looking forward to turkey hunting, man. Been a year.
Yeah.
Long.
Yep. We got skunked last year. I had Devin on quite a few birds, man. Just didn't happen. So
yeah.
And this year, I think it might be his last year of youth season. He might not even have a chance to go because of football. He has a 7-on-7 spring football and all this other stuff going on. So it's just kind of like, dang it.
Yeah, I'm already trying to figure out what we're going to do about a tag that my oldest boy drew for the fall, but I guess we'll get into that a little later. We'll talk about that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to turkey, man. I'm ready. Got the shotgun patterned and itching to go.
Nice.
Shotgun stays on pattern, doesn't it?
Well, I had it. I had it patterned for Sandhill Crane because we did quite a bit of that. Shooting geese and cranes, and so I switched chokes and took one shot at 40 yards, and that was good enough for me. That'll get her done. That I'm telling you, man. I used to comp and choke, or the chokes I've always used in my Benellis, and I picked up an auto loader this year or I guess I should say last year, I picked it up to go goose and crane hunting. And just shot in the dark. I was looking around and I ended up picking up a Pattern Master Code Black Duck.
Oh yeah.
A little on the pricey side, I suppose, if you're looking at shotgun chokes. But dude, that thing, the first time I shot, I'm like, okay, this is a turkey choke, dude. This is a perfect turkey choke. And I think it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to shooting one.
So that Pattern Master, how far out have you shot that so far?
50 is the farthest.
What are you using?
And I ain't
using
shooting no
tungsten
turkey
or no?
from 50 yards. What's that?
Are you shooting tungsten out of there?
No, I shoot Winchester Longbeard XR.
That's what I shoot. Yep.
3-inch number 5s, buddy.
Yeah. And
I think mine are
good at
6s,
50 yards.
but-
Geez.
Oh yeah, and shit. I mean, I ain't shooting one at 50. And hell, I mean, well, I shouldn't say.
You're not
I wouldn't
opposed
say I
to it.
wouldn't do it. Yeah, I'm not opposed to it, but I want them. I want them just behind the other side of a bush. Remember that.
You don't want to see their face ever again, right? God, got all the beads right on their beak. Damn. Yeah, I remember that. Thanks for putting that in there. Jesus, it's like a nightmare of mine. I've had over and over. I'm like, why didn't I just come? I could have come spinning out of there like Chuck Norris. Boom, shot it.
Yeah, but you got one. That's all.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, we did. We both did. That was good. That was an excellent hunt. That's probably the best turkey hunt I've ever been on to this day.
Yeah, that was a good one for sure.
I was like, crap, if this is what it's like, I'll be down here every year. This shit was awesome.
That's a good spot up there, man. That's a good spot, I'm telling you.
It is. It is.
Last year, I don't know if we told you about these guys we met, but we went to that spot again. We had probably, I don't know, a bunch of gobbles, a bunch of calling back, but nothing real close. And this one coyote, he rounded up all the turkeys from the whole area and put them in one tree.
No,
just stood
at
the bottom of this tree.
There was like 80 birds in one tree, and we're just like, well, there's all the birds.
Wow.
So
those birds are interesting. There, you gotta. In my experience hunting them in that spot, like you can get, you can move around and get close to them, and they'll come running in. If you get one hung up there and you move 30 yards closer, and dude, trust me, most of the time they come in. I don't know if I don't know. Well, that was my experience hunting there anyway.
That's what Devin and I did.
Plenty of times moving around too, but.
Yeah, Devin and I did that. It's just when Sandana and I went, they were held up on that private down at the bottom there in the flats.
Yeah.
And that's where that coyote had them up in the tree. And they seriously did not move for 2 days. We're just like, shit.
Oh, we had them calling.
We got to find a new spot.
They were calling back from across canyon too.
Yeah, it was still a pretty good hunt though, because I mean we went and tried some different areas and stuff like that. So we were trying to make it happen. It was cool.
Oh yeah.
Well, we met these two fellas. Was it 2 or 3 guys down at in the town?
Yeah,
and they were from Alabama or Mississippi.
I can't remember. Mississippi. I think it was Mississippi.
These guys had 5 birds down.
Yeah,
and they were working on their last bird, but they figured they had to go get some lunch first. But man, they were talking about turkey stuff that I had never heard about. Because they hunt those. Are they Easterns?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they were saying there's trouble with the Easterns. They're saying that they're so much more careful because as soon as they touch the ground, there's usually a water moccasin down there or something where they're from. So the birds don't usually get down and walk around like they do here. So I thought that was interesting. I was like, so the birds just kind of. He's like, oh yeah, they just hang right up in the tree all day long. When they want to get something to eat, they come down. They're 2 feet touch the ground. They eat right there.
Yep, and that's usually like where they shoot them. They're like, we just wait.
Yep.
Just wait for them to hit the ground and then blam.
Yeah, he said they don't walk around very often. That or some sort of an alligator or the bobcats get them there. So they're really flighty where they're from. So he's like, if they touch the ground, they're usually the next step is taking flight. After that, if they hear anything, they're gone.
Yeah.
So you can't be tromping around over there. But they said they're like, this is probably the best hunt we've ever done.
They were leasing. They were on a leased property or something like that, or somebody knew somebody. They were on like private property, but
Bed
they
and
were
breakfast now, too.
yeah, they're knocking them down though.
Yeah, it was
that's
pretty
cool.
good.
Yeah, it was pretty funny listening to their story and everything. So
Because the guy had he was like, oh yeah, we're from
wherever they're from.
Alabama or something. Anyhow, I had this call in my pocket. I was like, oh yeah, you ever heard of one of these? He goes, oh, that guy lives right down the road where I'm at. I was like, well, shit. I'd picked up this call. I think it's a Woodhaven.
Yeah, Woodhaven. Yeah.
Yeah, Woodhaven.
Oh yeah,
call.
yeah, I've heard of them.
That's right where they're from. They're from where the Woodhavens are made in the same town.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So wherever that is, we can't remember where,
cool.
but yeah, we thought it was pretty cool. And he owns his own. It's Pat's Archery. Wherever that's at. I can't remember where he was from, but yeah, we're just like, oh man, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you said you have a hunt coming up in New Mexico for turkey.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I'll go over there. I don't know how much time I'll be able to spend over there this year. But yeah, I'll hunt turkeys there. You get 2 over-the-counter tags, non-residents, about $160. Pretty tough to beat. That includes your license and both the tags.
And when does that start?
April 15th.
Oh, okay. So it's the same as our season here then.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't believe it's on
and it runs to the end of May is the last day of it over there.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's pretty much the same exact season as what we have here in Washington then.
Yeah. I won't be over there for the opening day because I'll be in Kansas, but I'll get over there that following weekend, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'd love to be there with you, but I got a better place to go.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So have you ever hunted in Kansas before?
Yeah. I've hunted turkeys out there once. I think it was actually, let's see, I moved down here in 17, so it would have been the spring of 18. I went out there and hunted with a buddy of mine that lives out there. That I served in the military with, down in the southeast corner of Kansas called Parsons. He lives in a town called Parsons, and went down there and hunted. Just tough hunting, man. Not a lot of birds. A lot of guys hunting them. Not really receptive to calling, and did not kill a turkey. So, gotta try to redeem myself this trip.
Yeah, go around again. So you're going to the same?
Yeah.
Are you going to the same town?
No, it'll be in a different area.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So are you hunting those turkeys the same way you would here, or how are you guys setting up?
Yeah, I think there's probably a little less moving around just because most of the birds up there are easterns. So it's a roost them, try to get within earshot of them before they start gobbling in the morning and try to call them out of the tree. I think that's the plan.
That would be pretty awesome, man.
How many days are you going to be over there?
Be able to hunt, especially 4 days.
Okay.
Gonna get there a day and a half ahead of time and do a little scouting around this area, and then kind of go from there.
Nice. So that'd be a good hunt.
Yeah. Yep. I'm looking forward to it.
Now, have you ever seen those guys that have the turkey dogs?
Turkey dogs.
No.
Have you ever seen what I'm talking about?
No.
So
I don't even know what the hell he's talking about.
This is funny. I think it was on a Meat Eater episode, but I seen a TV show where this old feller he finds a roosting tree, and then he has this dog. I don't even know what kind of dog it is, but you can look it up. And he has this little gunny sack, right? He goes over to the roosting tree, and he sits down, and the dog, as soon as those turkeys hit the ground, somehow, I don't know if he's right by the tree or what, but turkeys hit the ground, and then the dog chases them off. Then he goes and sits by the tree, puts his gunny sack between his legs, and the dog climbs in the gunny sack and stays there till the birds come back.
That's kind of jacked up. Taking the dog to get the turkey.
All you see in the video is its nose and eyes poking out of the bottom of the sack. It's like looking at it, like where are they at? And so he sets this thing up, and it runs the turkeys off, and they'll return, and he just waits for them to come back.
Kind of.
So I'm gonna pull it up here so we can see it. But I thought that was pretty neat. I was like, dang, that's pretty unique. I wonder who discovered doing that.
Lazy.
Yeah, that's a different approach.
Yeah, lazy ass. I don't know.
I didn't know you could use dogs to hunt turkeys. I don't know anywhere where that's legal.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think it was Maine. So it says tips on how to.
Well, that's pretty much Canada, so nobody cares what they do up there.
It says how to hunt your dog with a turkey. Get the right dog. It's first tip number 1. Get the right dog.
Yeah.
Garden Indium
How about
God.
learn how to call?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to put a little thing on here for a second just so we can. What is this? This is the Boys and Project Upland magazine.
Here soon, Kirk, we'll have you actually on screen. We're going to start trying to do Zoom on here.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. Getting fancy.
All right.
Yeah, the
getting
Zoom is
fancy.
next level. Let's see if this is one.
Yeah. Dave's fiddling with this.
I'm trying to
with his
key up a
laptop
turkey
or
dog deal, see if this is how I remember it being. Oh, there's the bag.
I think you're way too interested in this turkey dog thing.
Yeah, I thought, once you see it,
I'm not for that.
let me tell you something, Kirk. I'll tell you
Only
something.
turkey dog I've ever heard of is a hot dog that they say is made out of turkey.
A tofurkey dog.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I remember a couple of years ago, what kind of truck you driving now?
Say that again? Sorry.
What kind of truck are you driving now?
Oh, I still drive my Nissan Titan.
Oh, I can't talk. I can't talk nothing then. Never mind.
But about a year ago now, I bought an '86 Toyota 4-wheel drive with a 5-speed in it from one of my neighbors. It had 140,000 original miles on it. So I drive that every day. I rarely drive my Nissan anymore, but I've got over 200,000 miles on that thing. It's been a good truck, man.
Yeah. My Titan, my parents have it, but I did pick up a 2004 Toyota Tacoma.
Yeah, so same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Same.
But years ago, I was talking about heated seats and heated steering wheel, and you were like, "Man, you better never have a heated steering wheel in your truck." Blah blah blah. But I could imagine in a couple of years, this turkey dog thing. I'm going to see you in the woods with a turkey and a dog.
Yeah, I doubt it.
So this fella here is sitting there with a dog in that bag between his legs.
Kirk, you're going to have to bring up this podcast on YouTube so you can see this.
Okay.
This dude's sleeping.
No, he's calling with his mouth. He's calling.
Calling with his eyes closed.
There's a dog in that bag. So the dog had already ran these birds off and chased. The dog just runs around, scatters the birds.
Lazy.
And then,
it's
so you can get next to the roosting tree is how I remember the strategy.
But why don't you just be a good hunter?
Well, look where they're hunting in the snow. I think it's Maine. If I'm gonna fast forward.
I don't know. Well, I mean, if it's legal in his state and you can do this, I mean, go for it, I guess. Because, I wish we could bait bears. We can't do that, so.
So the thought is that the birds leave after the dog chases them. You get down, dog goes in the sack. You call the birds back to the stand. It's supposed to be pretty quick, and you have to check the episode out. But here's a little deal. The guy's got the bird coming back. He might have either just shot or looking to shoot.
No,
Let me see.
He hasn't shot yet. But anyways, I get the concept.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty fascinating, so that's why I asked about it. If you'd ever heard about it. So I don't know where else it is legal, or even where it's legal, but I thought it was pretty interesting when I saw that the first time. I was like, dang, I kind of felt the same way you did. I thought, that's cheating. But then I thought it's pretty smart.
No.
Takes a special man to think about that. How can I get this dog to chase those birds? It's crazy. So
Just like any other type of bird hunting with a dog, I guess, but
yeah,
not my cup of tea.
Well, what else you got on the schedule, Kirk?
Oh, I don't know. He just sent me a picture though of a javelina in the backyard.
Oh yeah,
Right now?
yeah. I got a big dog bowl that I put in the desert out behind my house, and I keep water out there for the birds and the javelina and the coyotes.
So
It's like 7 of them.
bobcats and everything else.
So that's the subject that I want to get into also, not javelina, but hunting coos deer in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
They just changed the rules in Arizona for non-residents to where it's basically a crapshoot to get a deer tag.
You're talking archery?
Yep. Over the counter.
It's like first come first serve. They're only selling so many permits in each unit.
Yeah, so it's 10% of whatever the residents tags are. So if whatever that number is. So
right.
For years now, you've been trying to get me down there, and something's always come up. This year, I bought my license. I put in my point for elk, and now I may not be able to get down there and hunt deer because I need to be smashing on the buy button.
Well, you don't need to use your point. You don't need to use any points to buy an over-the-counter tag. And if you buy it early enough, it's not going to be an issue for you.
Well, hopefully they don't sell out like Idaho does, in a matter of a blink of an eye.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure, honestly, how that's all going to work out. It's, if you were going to come down here to archery hunt deer, we'd be chasing mule deer anyway.
So that's your recommendation?
Yeah,
mule deer?
Yeah. I like whitetail hunting too. I killed a decent coos deer this year on a rifle tag, but
not something that you would chase with a bow?
No, I would, but I like hunting mule deer. I applied for this coos deer tag as kind of a, we'll see what happens. I'll just throw my name in the hat and see what happens. And I drew it. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to go try to shoot one.
Nice. Okay.
But, if you given the option between hunting a mule deer or a coos deer, I would much rather hunt mule deer. I don't know. I like them. They're big. They're nasty. I like them. I like hunting. I like mule deer hunting. So.
Well, I'm going to be doing whatever you tell me to do. So for hunting mule deer, we're hunting mule deer, and that's what it's going to be. So, yeah, when those things go on sale, man, I'm getting one.
Yeah, most of the over-the-counter archery deer tags here, and in a lot of units, it's, just like any antler deer, the whitetail mule deer doesn't matter. There are some where there are restrictions, but in a lot of units, you can hunt whitetail or mule deer depending on what you're coming across. But, if you come down, there's a couple of places I would say to go and see. There's some pretty good mule deer down here. So,
well, if it does happen like that and they do end up selling out like crazy and I can't get one, I still plan on coming down because I will have a license down in Arizona. So why not use it?
Yeah.
So,
right. Might as well use it. Yep.
Yeah. I'll be, hunting some javelina or, whatever else I can get over the counter that's not going to, being
$1,000.
Well, yeah, not feasible. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, a good time.
What's the normal size? I just went on this. I just Googled Arizona mule deer, and here comes this whopper. We're looking at it on the TV here, but it's like 7x7, just a huge.
Yeah, it's probably that picture's probably from what's called the Strip. That's up north rim of the Grand Canyon. Up, you're starting to get into Utah. That's Unit 13. Unit 12 is another good one. It's called the Kaibab.
I've heard about the Kaibab.
North rim of the Grand Canyon. Yeah, it's just on the north rim of the Grand Canyon. The average mule deer you'll see down here in the desert, 150 to 180 class deer. There's some 200-inch deer running around too. But that's not. You aren't seeing those just everywhere.
Mm-hmm. A couple years ago,
usually see at least one a year where it's like, wow, man, that's a bomber of a buck.
Yeah, there was a couple years ago. You sent me a picture of one, and that was probably 180 plus. He was a monster. I need to try to find that photo.
Yeah.
He was huge. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. There's some good mule deer down here for sure, man. And it's December, January is a good time to hunt them because they're rutting and they're like any other animal that's rutting. They get pretty stupid. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up your Instagram right now so I can show some photos here of the animals that you have taken down there.
Oh gosh, I haven't. I gotta. If you're looking at it, you're the first guy that's looked at it in a month.
Oh dang, man, dude! You got the cover photo of the century. It's elk rutting. You seen this? You're a 520 AZ hunter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. You got the nice cover photo on there. I'll open up this photo. So let's move this over. Move this down. So, because a lot of people have never seen what Kirk looks like. So let's do that. So Kirk is the guy in the Kuyu, the Vias. And this is a hunt. Apparently, he was guiding on, but this might even be a Coues deer. Is this a Coues deer, Kirk?
Well, he doesn't know what picture we're looking at, but yeah, this looks
like
an
older gentleman here with this deer.
Yeah, this looks like Sonora.
Oh wait, guy with it's a 3x3 with split barrel tines.
Yep, correct. Yep, split on one side.
Yeah, no, that's 30 minutes from my house, man.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. I was, that guy called me up like last minute, and knew somebody that I worked with or something, and went out and left him a couple of decent deer, and he's like, I don't want to shoot either one of them. I'm like, all right, let's just keep walking and looking. And I see this doe she's screaming down this hillside. I'm like, hang on a second, man. And then start looking, and here he comes right behind her. And that dude shot that buck from, I think it was 780.
Oh my gosh.
He was lugging around like a 22-pound 338 Lapua that he shoots some competition with. Man, he slung that thing up on top of this big boulder, and it took him like 5 minutes to get everything all set up. But that buck was just following that doe around, and by this time she had kind of slowed down and started feeding a little bit. And dude, that deer turned kind of quartered away from us, and he said, "All right, I'm going to shoot." And I said, "Go ahead, man." And he freaking hammered that buck, dude. Just dropped him in his tracks. Absolutely hammered him. Yeah, made a hell of a shot.
Yeah, that 338 Lapua is nothing to mess around with.
Yeah, that's but you're gonna make if you're gonna shoot that far, it's not a bad thing to have it, I suppose.
Yeah,
you can keep that. I ain't doing
it. 700 yards, geez.
Yeah, that's deep.
Yeah, almost 800.
So is this
780? I think it was.
We have another picture here of a buck you took with your Bowtech. Is this 30 minutes from the house too?
What does the?
You have your bow laying across it.
It's a big. It looks like a 3x3. It has like a crooked antler.
Let me open my thing up here, and I can tell you.
I'll have to put you on the spot, but you said better late than never.
No, that's all right. That's all right. I'll be interested to see what's on here. I haven't looked at it in so long. Let's see. Got the bow. Well,
it's probably halfway down your page. In your photos.
Halfway down. Okay, I'm getting there. I'm just stuck here.
It might have been like your first year in Arizona
First year in Arizona.
when you moved.
Oh yeah, okay. It's just the deer there with the bow on it.
Yeah, yep, that's it.
Oh yeah. That's about that's not far from the house either, man.
Jeez.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, that's a good spot. There's a lot of deer in there, man. A lot of deer in there.
Dang, that's a pretty awesome buck too, man.
Yeah, I think that was like the day after Christmas or something when I shot that buck, or maybe it was Christmas Day. I don't even.
Yeah, it said better. It says on the title, it says better late than never. So,
Yeah,
better than the tag soup.
yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's
Well,
awesome.
we think we have a long season, man. Arizona's got a pretty long season.
Yeah, that's a healthy season.
It's just
that's
chopped.
for sure.
You know, it's just chopped up. So I mean, you're
Yep.
so for me, it'll be a 24 tag, but I can use that 24 tag all the way up until like December 29th from the beginning of the year
Exactly. Yep.
Till when?
till 25.
Oh,
So the
dang.
end of December of 24. So it starts in the beginning of 24 and ends in 24, but it's chopped up. So it's like a bunch of different
Oh, okay.
seasons in there.
So your tag starts January 1st.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'm lost because ours
Just
don't start
completely
in
different.
the end of the year. Yeah, your guys' season starts at the beginning of the year, and ours is towards the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's wild. Then you have a bunch of mini seasons in between there, sprinkled throughout. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, Arizona is.
I'm jealous of
pretty sick.
everywhere else, but you know.
But I mean, we have an oak season though. I mean, we can just buy it over the counter. That's the one thing about Arizona that residents can't do. Like they have to draw. But also when you draw, the likelihood of you getting a 300 plus bull
Pretty
is
good.
highly likely. Yeah, depending on what you want. Obviously, some people are just like, I'm just gonna shoot what I think is a big bull. They don't care what like the number size. You know, they might, it's a 6x6, but it could be a 6x6 raghorn, and they got like a 380 running around somewhere. You know, like
Yeah, I'm not that picky. If I see a
sometimes-
bull and I go, that's big,
Kirk,
I'm shooting at that.
if you're
sucker.
waiting on, some of these units are like 20 years plus. You know, so some
Yeah.
people are waiting a long time. That might be the only elk you shoot for your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they're holding out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Good
true.
friend of mine drew a tag in Idaho. It was a special unit, non-resident draw tag.
Mm-hmm.
They only gave away one tag to a non-resident for this unit, and he drew it. Calls me up. He's like, "Hey, you want to go down here?" It's like he's a realtor, so he's like, "I'm going for the whole 3 weeks in August. I'm going to go down there and look for 3 weeks. I'm going to go back in October." His season didn't start till like November. Rifle tag too. Goes down there, absolutely pounds a whopper. I mean, they're in the snow, and he drew the only non-resident tag, and he's like, "Yeah, they're saying there's like monster bulls down here, and there's like 7 resident tags." So he'd never.
So
it's very
pretty
limited.
exclusive. Yeah.
Yeah, he'd never put in a point for Arizona or for Idaho and drew that tag. So it's kind of that same thing. But he was passing all sorts of bulls.
That's why I'm wondering if I drew something from Arizona. I need to check if I got that 1 point look.
You got email? Did they email you?
I don't know. I didn't get an email from them, so probably not.
Yeah, you won't you don't get an email from Arizona
Oh, see, I need to
about
look.
whether or not you drew the tag. Yeah.
Oh, it goes. Check it right now.
I don't even know what.
You could probably
How
sign
many
it. To
points you have?
I'd have one.
Well, he had a big old one.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll send you an email and tell you didn't draw the tag.
Go ahead and check it. It'd be amazing if you did.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
I'll send the email on behalf of the Arizona Game and Fish Department.
On behalf of all Arizona resident elk hunters.
Yeah.
Kirk would kill me. He's like, I ain't even telling you where to go.
Yeah,
You're
right.
on your
no,
own,
he'd
buddy.
be with you for sure. That's one of those things you celebrate no matter who gets it. Like, holy smokes.
Yeah, we need to set that up though, because if you do end up drawing, I definitely want to come down and experience that hunt with you.
Oh yeah, I'll draw it one of these years. I'm getting there, man. But the point creep keeps getting me. That's all right.
Didn't you do some extra stuff for some extra points though? Because Arizona, don't they have something where you can do like their hunter's ed? You get like an extra point.
Yeah, you get some lifetime bonus points that never go away. So when you draw a tag, you don't go back down to 0 points. You go back down to 1 or 2, depending on the criteria and whether or not you've met the criteria, which I have for every species. So, regardless of what I draw, I never drop to less than 2 points.
So what is
okay.
What is that point creep you're talking about?
Point creep is essentially, like, I'll give you an example. A couple years ago, the number of points needed to draw the tag I applied for was 10. And then last year it was 11. And the year before, or last year it was 12, I think. And this year it's 13. So, it kind of, it's dependent on the number of tags that are available relative to the number of applications that they got last year or this year and this and that. And so by point creep, what it means is it keeps creeping away from you. That's kind of the number of points you need to draw tags keeps kind of creeping away from you. And that's kind of what I'm experiencing based on the unit that I know and that I really want to hunt.
So if you need 6 points this year, you're going to need 6 points again next year.
Well, with point creep, theoretically, let's say, you go to apply. So let's say you went to apply for this season, which was just drawn, and you look back at last year's numbers and it tells you, okay, for this specific unit, you needed 6 points to draw. Well, this year it might be 7 or 8 that you need to draw that unit. So you might have picked up your 6 point last year, and then you think like, okay, I'm going to draw that tag this year. And what you find out later on is, well, actually, since the points creeped up a little bit, you creeped away from you a little bit. This year, you needed 8 points to draw it instead of 6 like last year.
Hey, Kirk, I see Dave scrolling frantically like he's something good going on over there.
No, I can't remember my password stuff.
I thought he raised his eyebrow and he started scrolling quicker. I was like, oh, shit. That's funny. Yeah, the passwords are important, man. You got to get in there. Oh, are you resetting it?
No.
Oh, he's guessing now.
No, I had to look it up. I got it. I got it like...
Drum roll. We're about to find out if Dave got an Arizona elk tag with 1 point.
It won't be updated in your portal for like another 2 weeks, man. It takes them forever. The way you know whether or not you drew a tag is the card that you applied with will have a charge on it from Arizona Game and Fish.
Oh, so your bank account will be hit or something.
Yes. That's how you know. And if it hasn't been hit at this point, like I said, I can send an email for you.
Yeah, the wife wasn't yelling at me for, what's this charge for?
$1,000 Arizona.
Yeah.
No, I think it's like 300 and something.
That's pretty good, dude.
I think that's what it is.
385 or something.
Yeah, Idaho's non-resident tag was like $800 for elk.
Yeah, the prices are outrageous.
Yeah, I mean, you can buy a non-resident tag over the counter here for $800. Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, but I mean...
No, I wouldn't either.
That's why Kirk moved. He's like, F this place.
Yeah, it's expensive. It's 10 times... So all of our tags are 10 times resident fees.
Yeah.
Oh, for a non-resident?
Yep.
It'd be worth it for bear, though. Bear or like maybe a deer tag. Deer tags aren't expensive.
I just buy the package. I know the package is like...
It's really just our elk tag. Our elk tag is like outrageously expensive for the experience that you're going to get.
Well, It depends on who you ask, I guess. But the just the big game combo with small game and all that stuff, I think it's like $250 for a resident. It's about there. Maybe it's $180, but I buy all those draw applications at the same time.
Yeah, so it ends up being like $580.
They hit you $6 here, $12. I mean, it adds up quick. Yeah, it's $400 by the time you're done. So there's another thing. Got to bust out the pocketbook.
So, Kirk, what else do you have coming up this year? So you're excited for turkey season. Obviously, we're all just counting down the days. But is there anything else that you have going on? You have another audad or anything you're going to blast?
Yeah, I've applied for audad in New Mexico, antelope in New Mexico, antelope. Well, I haven't done it yet, but I will apply for antelope in Montana. We'll have the deer hunts here that I'll apply for later in the spring, and gator in Georgia. I've been applying for that for a few years now.
Oh, I didn't know you had to apply for something.
Yeah, yeah, you do. And I feel like I got something else.
Alligator in Georgia.
He's
I
going back
applied for
home.
moose again.
That'd be badass.
Yeah, maybe. I applied for moose again in Maine.
That'd be good.
And yeah, and then I feel like I have something else going on too. Oh, I'm going to apply for a whitetail tag in Kansas. So we'll see how that turns out.
Hopefully you get all of them.
But at this point, the only thing I got is my wife and oldest boy both drew Cal elk tags. So
that's going to be a fun hunt.
That coming up in the fall, yeah. So
rifle?
Yeah, they both got rifle tags.
Now, how many points did it take for them to draw those? I didn't know that your wife hunted.
Yeah, I think she had 1 or 2 points, and Reese, he didn't have any points, but we were able to put him in for the youth permit. So
nice. Now, is this his last year of youth as well, or did
yes? I think he's got this year, and I think we'll still have next season.
So as long as they're 16 and under, is you down there?
As long as they're, I'd have to look to make sure. To be honest, I don't really know, but I'm pretty sure it's as long as they're under the age of 16 by the time they apply, then they're good to go.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the way it works. But this will be his first year hunting. He's never really been much into it, so I've got to take a look at make sure I got all my ducks in a row for the the youth regulations and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Now, what is he going to be shooting?
He'll shoot the 6.5. He's so far he shot it out to 300 yards very well. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
We were joking before we got on with you about the 7 PRC or the 6.5 PRC, and I said Kurt's gonna be like 6.5 Creedmoor.
Yeah, my answer to that is no. You're gonna have a hell of a time finding components and ammunition for either one of those right now. You probably find the 6.5 ammo and components a little easier, but the 7 PRC stuff is really hard to find.
Yeah, you have to go with that factory loaded Hornady stuff, and then finding it, because everybody's waiting in line to, if they have those rifles, they're gonna be waiting in line just to go snag those things up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Them Hornady rounds.
Hey guys.
Yeah. Archery hunters, listen up. If you find yourself in the heart of King County, do yourself a favor and stop in at Rock Creek Archery, located in Tukwila. They have everything you need if you're just beginning to the sport or you've been shooting for 20 years, even an indoor shooting range. Or check them out at rockcreekarchery.com.
This section of the broadcast is brought to you by Burpaw, burpaw.com.
Use Ridge15 at checkout to receive a sweet discount.
Hey everybody, if you are looking for a game call that is elk, turkey, deer, predator calls, waterfowl calls, we highly recommend PhillipsGameCalls.com. Professional grade game calls made for every hunter.
Welcome back to the Ridgeline Hunting Podcast, brought to you by Phelps Game Calls, with your hosts, David Crane and David Sandana.
All right, part 2 of our turkey talk with Kirk. Kirk, how you doing?
Good. How you guys doing?
Hanging in there. Can't wait for turkey season.
Yeah, count down the days. We're kind of doing this one in reverse because we had started a podcast with Kirk and time ran out. So we're going to add this to the beginning. So we're actually doing the ending first. It's weird.
Yeah, so my bad, everybody. I did not hit record on the podcast unit, so I had to redo the intro for this one. So the intro of this is actually going to go on the first part.
Yeah.
So you're going to hear this in reverse.
And
So this is going to get cut off and then put in the front.
Well, we'll be wearing different clothes too, which is kind of funny.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
I was like, you got to wear the blue shirt. Remember the blue shirt?
I do got a blue shirt on, but
Yeah. So we're getting ready. We have, 7 days till youth season starts here.
yeah,
April 1st.
yeah.
And I just got the new regs for 23. And I don't have them with me, unfortunately, but they extended the youth season. So it's extra days. I think it's like 9 or 10 days now.
Well, I know it's from the 1st to like the 7th, which is a Friday.
It's to the 10th now.
Oh, okay. So
it goes through
that
the
is
next
new.
weekend, to 2 weekends.
Nice.
Do you take your kids turkey hunting, Kirk?
Yeah. I usually take them to New Mexico because everything's over the counter there. So it's easier.
So do you have a turkey draw in Arizona?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There are some over the counter tags available, but they're only archery tags. There are no shotgun rifle tags over the counter.
Oh, okay. Archery's your specialty anyhow.
Yeah, but he's talking about his kids though too.
Not so much anymore. I haven't consistently shot my bow in a long time, man.
Oh,
Me too.
Turned rifle hunter now, huh?
Definitely a little more interested in long range shooting with the rifle these days. That can change pretty quick though, back and forth. I haven't put a lot of effort into shooting a bow lately, so
yeah. Well, I mean,
probably
there's
something I should get back to.
There's good opportunities out there for both, and it's good to be skilled in both of them. So.
Oh yeah. I can still shoot 20 yards. So.
Yeah. Do you remember when I called you and I said, "Dude, something happened to my shoulder and my AC joint was messed up"? Did I ever tell you about that?
Maybe.
I couldn't draw my bow back like a quarter of an inch. I mean, I could barely get pressure on the string. And like 3 months goes by, and I figured out how to draw for that season because it was like 2 months before hunting season when I had this like sprain. Well, a year later, it's still not better. I go to the doctor. I'm like, I need an MRI. I've gone through like 2 sessions of physical therapy, done all the workouts all the time at home. They did an MRI, and they're like, yeah, you have no cartilage in this joint. It's like bone on bone in your AC joint. So they said, oh, we could do surgery. We just chop these pieces off right here, and we'll fuse it together. But you're kind of young. I think I was 38 when that happened. So my right shoulder, there's no cartilage in that AC joint. But 2 years later, I was like, oh, I'm good to go. Go back out, doing some young kid stuff, and boom, instant crunch and grind. And it was down for like another 3 months. Freaking terrible. So my archery skills are not as good as they used to be either. It's been a solid.
Oh yeah, mine are
solid 3 years since I really.
Mine are deeply flawed.
Yeah.
Get them close, man. I mean,
I'm good for one shot. Yeah, I used to be able to just like see the arrow. Like when you shoot, you like know the arrow's going there. You could tell the trajectory and all that. Now I'm like, I shoot 2 shots. I'm like, yeah, I should do this more often. This is great. And then I'm like, oh shit, start getting worn out a little bit. And after 15 or 20 shots, I'm like, man, my shoulder. And it's shot for like 4 days. So it's rough.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of aging.
time to pick up a rifle.
Yeah, man.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. I got to take my bow in and have a good tune job done on it, and then probably start shooting a little more this summer.
Yeah, it does take a little more time.
Oh yeah,
So-
you gotta. I think you got to shoot damn near every day if you really want to stay on top of it.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. So New Mexico. Do you have a honey hole down there you like to visit, or you just kind of wing it when you go?
I have a honey area. Yeah, the turkeys. 1 year they're in one spot, 1 year they're in the other, but they're almost always around someplace. It was a little bit of a pain in the ass last year because there was another area that's not too far away that was actually on fire, caught fire like the second day of the season. So the Forest Service kicked all those guys that were up there turkey hunting. They kicked them out of there, and a lot of them came down to where we were, and it was a little bit of a shit show. So I'm hoping this year there won't be as many people up there, but we'll see. But yeah, I got a spot I like to frequent.
Do you know what the timeline after a burn is for the game reestablishes itself in an area? I think it's like 3 years.
I don't. I think I think it depends on what's there to begin with, number one, and then secondly, just what gets scorched. There's some areas here that burned 5-6 years ago that still look like man, nothing's ever going to grow back. So I think it probably depends on the geography of where you are, and what's underneath it. I mean, it's not like, we don't have the same kind of soil down here, obviously, that you guys have up there. I don't think I have a good answer for you on that.
Well, I think it's interesting that you bring up the soil because, I did a little bit of studying on this stuff a while ago. Nothing like for college or anything, but we had to go through training for the Master Hunter program, and they were talking about like shrub steep and erosion and, if you walk off path and stuff like that, how many years it takes for some of these areas, the desert areas especially, to grow back because it doesn't really come back like ours does here,
Right.
We have a nice topsoil layer. There's pretty much like everything's just a struggle to survive as it is, and then you crush it, and then there's really nothing's gonna loft that earth again. It's
right.
compacted, So
yeah, there's no nutrients or anything in the dirt.
Yeah, I'm not sure where it comes from, but I know
comes in those haboobs and habibs.
It gets blown around, but there has to be some sort of loft to the soil, for seeds and stuff to germinate and all that other stuff. But it is interesting to hear that from you because, being from here and you're down there now, you're experiencing all these other things that we had traditionally just heard about and really never think about it again. Because I was thinking, your place burned, you probably got like 2 years before it's really good. But hearing a place burned 6 years ago and still it hasn't come back, I mean, that's usually something we look for.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there's a burn here, and in 3 years we're going back, or 4 years we're going back.
Yeah, definitely. Or even 2 years.
Yeah.
Depending on what's there. Yep.
Yeah. That happens a lot. Where you hunt, Dave?
Yeah. All the time. But it's usually like 2 years. And it's flourishing again. So.
Yeah, you almost got weren't you hunting a couple of years ago and almost like you were hunting on the edge or one ridge over
fire. Yeah.
Of a fire and didn't know until your wife called and said, "Hey, their fire's moving your way."
Yeah, so I dropped a pin. We'll get to turkey here in just 1 second. I dropped a pin. I always tell my wife where I'm at, and I drop a pin, and she happened to be talking to somebody, and they were wondering where I was because I wasn't there, and she was like, "Oh, he's out bear hunting, blah, blah, blah. This is where he's at." Of course, she doesn't know the secret squirrel thing, like don't show people where I'm at, but they're not hunters, but she was like, "Oh, there's a fire over there. You need to see where this fire is and all this other stuff." And she sends me back a text, and it's like I'm in the fire zone. And I'm like, it can't be that close. Like, I think it's on this other ridge. So I get up to this glassing spot, and I actually just look over, and I'm looking like right at the fire. And I'm like, oh crap, I gotta get the hell out of here. Because as I was walking up, it wasn't falling down, but there was like some ash. And I was like, oh, maybe that's a burn from, because it was burning like the whole summer. So I was like, oh, that was probably, from a month ago or 2 weeks ago or, whatever. So I just kept on going up. But as I'm going up to the glassing spot, that ash is falling on me. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I was like, maybe it's just because of the wind, because it was kind of windy. And I look over and I'm like, oh crap. I'm glad I didn't just go to sleep.
Got the bird's eye view.
Yeah, because it it didn't end up going all the way to where I was because I went up there the next year and saw where the burn line actually was. But you never know. It takes just a different wind, and I could have been barbecue.
Yeah, running. You're running for your life. Let's get to turkey, man.
Yeah, definitely. I know we left off before. We didn't really get to it, but Kirk, you said you had a special sauce for these turkeys for this year. There's something you got in the back pocket that you want to throw at these things.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Like he's trying to keep the secret. I see how.
Yeah. You were saying that you might have a trick up your sleeve for the turkeys this year. I'm just wondering what that trick is.
Well, I talked to a friend of mine that hunted in Kansas last year, and they were having a hell of a time for a couple of days, and ended up running into kind of this old timer sort of guy, and they were talking to him about their trouble calling these Easterns in that are a little more, not quite as, they're a little more call savvy than these Merriams that I'm accustomed to hunting. And he actually told him to take an old tail fan and just put it on like a stick and just use the fan to decoy the birds in, because they'd have a bird coming in and you'd get to 100 yards or so and see their decoys and kind of hang up and then turn around and walk off. And so they thought, all right, whatever, we'll try that. So they put a tail fan on a like a yardstick they had or something. They went out the next morning and they knew where some birds were and started calling, and here comes the bird, and he's probably, 100 yards or so away from them. I don't know. I think he said it was inside 100 yards, but they just kind of slowly lifted that thing up, and I guess he came running at him.
Oh, man.
So I've got a bunch of fans from over the years, so I'm going to throw a yardstick in the case with my shotgun and staple that thing to it and see if those guys were just pulling my leg or not.
Man, that's worth trying. I might try that.
Yeah.
We at the Portland Sportsman Show, we met this guy. What was that precision company? They had those quick attachments for those shooting sticks.
Oh shoot. You know what? I have their card.
There's a guy that makes these shooting attachments. They click onto your walking sticks. So when you're getting ready to shoot, you just interlock them and click them, and they make a bipod for your rifle. So you can put your rifle on there. And that little turkey fan thing, if you had that with you, you had that little yardstick deal with some sort of attachment, you could like have a string and just peel it up. It could come up from the ground or something like that.
Wise Precision.
Wise Precision?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
Yep. It's like $34 or something like that, and they attach to your hiking sticks, and you can clip them together, and it turns into like a little bipod. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to see, but he has all kinds of attachments that he made for just basically walking sticks.
Yeah. It gets, I mean, you could spend like $500 if you want to get all the stuff.
Well,
I just wanted
gyro and all that stuff is pretty crazy.
I just needed the stuff for the walking sticks, but I mean, it's pretty cool. Wise Precision, if we want to check that out, they got some some crazy stuff. Because then you could just attach it, like if you use your walking sticks or whatever, you can just attach it to that and be all hooked up.
Yeah,
just be ready to go.
So that got me, that whole turkey fan thing got me thinking about those sticks. I was like, if I had those sticks, I could click them and lay them on the ground flat and have just like a little spot for that little stick with the fan on it, tie a string and then just lift it up, and it would just come up from the ground like that. Like a moving fan. Those turkeys would shit, dude.
I don't know. I think we got to check it out.
I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
We're gonna try your little trick in the bag, and maybe that does it for us.
Kirk's got all the tricks, man. That's why I got to pick his brain before we go. I do it every year. Usually it's on the phone. All right, man.
We'll see. I don't know. It's worth trying.
Well, I think your season starts the same times as ours, the 15th or 16th of April.
Yeah, Kansas opens on the 12th, so I'm going out there on the 10th and have a day and a half to poke around a little bit. My buddy, he lives out there. He's already on it. So by the time I get there, we'll probably have a pretty good idea of what we're going to do on opening morning. But it opens up in New Mexico on the 15th. I don't know. I think it opens up on the 15th in Arizona too, but I didn't draw anything. I don't have an over-the-counter tag in Arizona and don't really plan on picking one up. So,
well, man, keep us posted because, yeah, I want to know how that hunt goes and how the experience was hunting the Easterns compared to what, you're usually hunting the Merriams and Rios and stuff.
Right.
Like how much more difficult it is, or
should be fun. It's tough. I know it's different, but we'll see.
Yeah, I just sent you the link to the quick sticks, so you can check those.
Cool.
So you can check those out. And they have all sorts of different things on here. So if you're using hiking sticks, they have a crazy amount of adapters. So leave your credit card away when you're looking. You can get seriously. They have stuff for your chronograph for your rifle too. I was looking at this here.
Oh,
so they have all sorts of stuff. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how those quick sticks work with the turkey fan, because I just so happen to have one laying right here.
Yep.
I will make the sacrifice. Put a little ball mount on there and bloop, pull it up. Freaking sucker comes running in. You're gonna see it on video.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
It's gonna be awesome. So, what else do you have going on besides New Mexico for this turkey season?
Well, yes, Kansas.
Just Kansas. I don't have anything else planned at the moment, and just be kind of waiting to see what happens with New Mexico run their draw for big game stuff at the end of April or toward the end of April. So we'll see if I draw any of those tags and get ready to go guide some elk hunters in New Mexico, and maybe if I get lucky, I'll get to hunt for myself over there this year too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, you got to keep us posted also if you get the hookup on some antelope. I know that you were guiding before over in New Mexico, and then that guide kind of fell through, or the outfitter, I should say. But if you get any hookups on that again, let me know, because I will be the first one to sign up.
Hey, have you ever messed with any of those turkey setups? I've seen on TV, they'll have like a bedded hen with like a tom behind it. Do you ever do anything like decoy setups like that or anything?
Yeah, I think so. I think I didn't have a bedded hen per se. I just wouldn't put like the stand on the hen. Mm-hmm. I would just sit it on the ground.
That's what I do.
Put the Jake like behind it. I probably killed more birds with using no decoys than I ever have using decoys.
I have quite a bit of luck with one hen.
I've seen a lot of turkeys turn around and run from decoys. So
not really.
I'm not opposed to using them, but I don't really. It's not a part of my arsenal that I use consistently. That's for sure.
Yeah, I've been on the fence about it, but part of it is just lugging them out there, because like the collapsible ones, they don't seem like they're in good shape when you pull them out. They're kind of they have good eyesight, so they can see a crease on a bird. They're like, oh, that bird's got a big crease in the side of it. Then the full body ones they're freaking the size of three footballs you're carrying around the mountain.
Yeah, I think if you're kind of run and gun on the move kind of guy, decoys are, they can be tough to deal with. Maybe if you had a Montana decoy style that you could just fold up really easily, and it was easy to deploy and easy to break down, that might be the way to go.
I had a couple of those, and when I was hunting with Devin, and it seemed like they picked out that it wasn't real.
Yeah, That makes sense. It's not 3D.
Yeah.
You know?
So, I mean, maybe at a long distance, they're like, oh, hey, there's some turkeys over there. But once I get close, because I had 2 of them come in, and it seemed like right when they saw the decoys, or at least that decoy, they were not interested at all.
Huh.
They didn't scoot away. They didn't run away, but they were just like, that doesn't look right. And they just kept on going.
Yeah. No, if somebody took my decoys away from me, I wouldn't get too worked up about it.
All right, so I'm gonna give you my address.
I've tried.
Yeah.
I've
I don't have
gotten
a good
turkeys
one.
off both, but I mean with and without. So I mean, there's times when it works and there's times when it doesn't. I mean, just like any other
I
type
think
of
it
hunting.
probably just depends on the bird that decides they're going to walk into your setup.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have
anything.
2 nights ago, I got my old computer up and running because I've been waiting on this computer. I was going to do something with it for a long time, but I was like, I'm going to get this thing going and get the photos and stuff off there. But once I started down the rabbit hole, it was like memory lane. Next thing you know, I'm looking at this hunting video that I made with my I think it was an iPhone 4. It was a long time ago. The first turkey hunt I went on with Kirk, I got the footage of the hen that came in. And you warned me, like, once they start doing that putting thing, they go, put. He's like, that's it. It's over. They're gone. This sucker did the put in front of me for probably 10 minutes on video, like from 4 feet away. It was like literally, put, in a circle. And I was tucked in these trees. And shortly after that's when that thunder chicken came in with all his troops, man, and didn't get a shot. Rookie move. I hate that. And watching that video, I was like, God dang it. I felt like I was only 5 minutes away from that bird walking over into my kitchen. I was like, he's coming any second. I could feel it. That was wild. So I'll post that video later. I'll show Dave after we're done here. But yeah, it's fun. You can hear him gobbling in the background. So I get that thrill, like that. I don't know, that inward feeling of it. I don't know how to explain it. Can you explain it, Kirk, Dave?
No, not really. I mean, I don't know. It's different.
I get pretty excited, man.
Yeah,
because you can tell, if you've had some success and you've been around them, and when they're responding to your calls, and they're truly responding to you, not just gobbling because they heard something.
Yeah,
there's a different sort of tone to it, in my experience. We were turkey hunting on a spot in eastern Washington. It was me and Dave and Jack one year. There were a couple of birds that were kind of hung up and wouldn't come. And we were there for, my God, man, it must have been like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think I want to say maybe I had already killed one, or I don't know. Maybe I just said, you guys get ready and I'm going to do the calling, or so. I don't know. I can't remember how it went down. But those birds wouldn't come over for any reason, but they kept responding to the call. And after like 40 minutes, I'm like, all right, I'm going to try something. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but we're going to try this. And I took this box call I have. And excuse me. Gotta stop smoking. And just started hammering on this thing as loud as I could make it. And they instantly started coming our way. And you could tell the difference, you could tell the difference in the intensity of the gobble, and I think a lot of it too has to do with the fact that they're coming toward you, so they're facing you, so the sound's getting projected your way.
Yep.
But I think all 3 people that were there will tell you there was a big difference between when they were just kind of half-assed responding to the call and when they decided, like, oh, we got to get over there and check this out. There was a big difference.
Yeah, and they were hauling ass, like, because I could see them like where they were calling from. I remember this, like, it was my first turkey I ever shot, so I'm glassing them up, and I'm like, Kirk, they're coming in, and he was like, put down those damn binoculars and get ready. I was like, dude, they're like 300 yards away. And he was like, Jack, get your shotgun, get ready.
Next.
Yep. He was like, all right. And sooner, dude, it was like 20 seconds. I don't even think it was 20 seconds. They cover that ground fast. And all of a sudden, you know, they're right there. And there is a different tone in the call because it's got that, they start booming, man. There's a thunderous boom when they're doing it because they, you know, pop their wings or pop their chest or whatever they do. And yeah, it was nuts. Doubled up on that day.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was fun.
The crazy memories you have, you know, just the feel of that the disruption in the air when they drum, or, you know, they flap their wings on their chest, and that almost like that drum sound, basically.
Yeah,
you know,
like a thum.
You're like,
Oh yeah.
when you feel it in your bones. I mean, I don't know a single person that wouldn't be addicted to that if you feel it. It's like the first time I ever heard an elk running around me, and I could feel the ground moving. I was hooked. I mean, they were a mystery animal when I first started hunting elk, and after that, It was like, okay, these things are massive. And then, you know, when it got into the bugling and calling, that's just a whole new level. I mean, you're talking about indescribable things that create an addiction. I don't even know how to explain how it happens, but when you experience it, you always want to experience it over and over and over.
Yeah.
I agree.
Definitely don't want to miss a turkey season. It's just fun. Gets you out there. It's like the first hunt of the year. Besides, I mean, you can always predator hunt throughout the year, or at least here in Washington. But yeah, it's just fun. I have a great time doing it, and hopefully other people will be able to get out and experience it because, man, turkey hunting, you can pretty much do it in every single state. So why not?
We only got about 5 minutes left with Kirk before he's got to get running, and I want to hit some technical questions.
Go.
So
Sure.
I have a regular shotgun with a bead, and have you ever used like a red dot sight or a halo sight or anything that I don't know what you call, like an RMR type sight or anything on your shotguns?
Not on a shotgun, but I know several people that have, and they absolutely swear by it. A buddy of mine, he uses like a double X turkey choke. So he had some instances where he was shooting right over the top of turkeys. Right over top, and you could see I saw the wad fly over the top of this thing's head because it shoots such a tight pattern.
Yep.
So he tried one and he got it really dialed in, and he says, like, I'll never go back, So, and I think, I think it's like anything else. There's, it's probably a lot like going from a fixed sight to a moving sight on your bow. It takes you a little while to kind of get used to it. But I personally haven't tried one. I know a lot of people that have. There's a couple guys I know who have been shooting turkeys with 410s with the TSS loads for the past couple years, and they all have them on their 410. But no, I just have. I did pick up a new gun that I haven't hunted turkeys with yet. I will next month, and it's just got the standard fiber optic, which is good for me. But no, I haven't tried it. I'd be, and all the times I've kind of goofed off and shot with my buddy, I've been thinking back. I don't know why I never hey, let me try that thing. But I just never use one on a shotgun. So I don't really know. I don't really have much input in. I think he's got I want to say he's got a Vortex red dot of some sort. I don't know which model on his shotgun.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give it a shot. Just because.
Yeah.
Just because I know, like with a pistol, I have red dots on some pistols, and you think you need to see the front and rear sight, but it actually causes that triangulation for you. So like the red dot, if you can see that dot when you dial it in, it's moving the barrel into the range that you need it to be. So it's trying.
Right.
It's causing that lineup.
So it takes
eliminates.
out, it eliminates some, some things that would have been great to have when I was out with Devin, because he shot right over the top of a turkey. So, I mean,
I think I might put that on Soph's 20 gauge.
Yeah, probably be a good idea.
It'd be interesting to see what you find if you have a chance to try that.
Because with her, it's like, with kids especially, it's like, make sure you get down and you're looking down the ribbing and you see that front bead, and it's like,
yeah, it makes it easier for them.
Mm-hmm. And that was the one thing that Devin made the mistake. I was like, dude, how did you shoot over the top of that? And I was like, did you line up both? Because it's the rear and the front. And he was like, oh, I forgot.
Yeah, if you're,
I was like, oh, that's all right.
I think
dude.
the other thing that happens, especially it probably happens a lot with kids, is they want to put the bead like right on the head, right?
Yeah.
You put the bead on the wattles.
Yep.
I do. I always hold my bead or fiber, in my case, the fiber optic. So just so I can see the wattles right over the top of that fiber optic, and you might get a couple pellets in the breast, but those are easy to pick out. And I'd rather kill the turkey than watch him run off.
Yeah, definitely. It's not a good feeling.
One last question for you. I'm not trying to push you out here, but I want to respect your time.
Yeah.
When you do get pellets in the breast, what is your method for getting those out? I've seen people use magnets and stuff.
Honestly, like what I found is you can tell where the pellets are. And I think the bigger issue isn't so much the pellet, but what you'll find when you start pulling those pellets out is a lot of times they'll drag some of the really fine feathers into the meat. And that, I would imagine is not good for the meat, if you're going to throw it if you're planning on having it frozen for any amount of time. But a lot of times I'll find, it'll look like a little piece of hair, and you grab it and you kind of start teasing it out, and it turns out to be a little feather, and then out pops the little pellet along with it, So I don't have any specific method for it. In fact, I've been eating turkey breast that I've cooked before and kind of, take a bite, and it's like, spit the pellet out and, keep going. But I don't get too worried about it. Most of the time they're pretty easy to see and pretty easy to find.
Okay, awesome, man. I appreciate the pointers.
Yeah.
I have noticed the feathers on geese, goose hunting. That's a big deal. You'll get, if you pop a goose, you'll have some feathers in there. You need to get those out.
For sure.
And at that point, you're making fajitas because sometimes they're just full of, you have to take that breast and totally cut it up.
Yeah.
Just put it in the strips and make fajitas, man.
That's usually what I do with my turkey breast.
I can think of a lot of other things I'd eat before I ate a goose.
Gotta be about that life, man.
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Dog food.
Hey, have you had any rattlesnakes since you've been in Arizona?
Oh yeah. I've had that down in Georgia where I grew up, man. It's good stuff. I've tried it a couple of different ways in Arizona, but I still think just frying it up is the best way to eat it. But I've grilled it down here, and the few I think I've killed. I personally, I stay away from them sons of bitches. I hate them things. But if
someone else kills,
if I run into one, and kill it, I don't just leave it there. I take the meat, and I've tried grilling it. That didn't turn out the way I thought it would. To be honest, it wasn't very good. So I think the other two I've killed, I just fried up, and that was fine.
Awesome. Well, is there any special sauce you'd use with that? Because I'm a sauce guy.
No, I think my youngest boy, he was dipping it in Chick-fil-A sauce. I do know that.
Can't go wrong there.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I just fried it, like you would fry, just breaded it and fried like you would fry fish. And
nice.
Nobody had any complaints.
Nice. I've actually never had rattlesnake. No snake, period.
Yeah, it's not bad, man. It's kind of it has a consistency of shark. It's kind of chewy, I guess you might describe it as chewy, but it's it tastes good.
Awesome, man. Well, it's past 8:00. I know that was our time, so I don't want to hold you up if you need to get running.
Yeah. Well, so did you guys? What happened with the last time? You guys didn't record it or something?
No. So it will always record through the camera, but I can't rob the sound from the camera and put it through the podcaster or upload it to the podcast program that I have. So I had to redo like just the starting part.
It was like 2 minutes.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. So it wasn't anything crazy.
Yeah. Well, I'll definitely let you guys know how things go in Kansas, and let you know about how it's going in New Mexico and the draw results in New Mexico, and you guys let me know how your turkey's going. And
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'll be calling you. I was like
from the woods.
Yeah.
What's going on here? These birds, man. What should I do?
Sometimes I do.
Just start smacking that box call, son.
Yeah.
You just that place up there. I think the trick is, in my experience, and it's been, it might be completely different there now. It seems like it wasn't that long ago, but it seems like it was a long time ago now. I think the trick is you gotta go back there. The way to get over there is the way that Dave and I went up there the one time where that bird was so close, and I was saying, why didn't you shoot the damn thing? That's the way to get up and over to that other side, not going all the way up the road and walking up that nice trail. That's not the way to go up there.
You take the shortcut.
Or it wasn't in the past anyway. I think the important thing is you gotta, as much as it sucks, you gotta walk over that hill once or twice a day. And you might have to do that for 4 days in a row before you get your chance.
Yep. Yep. I totally believe that.
Yeah.
That hill we went down. We went up and down there 2 or 3 times on that last trip.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like every time the hill was shorter and shorter. So the first time you go up, you're like, shit, this shit sucks. First time. Second time, you're like, I just got to go up this little thing, turn left, take a right, go up the ridge, done.
Yeah. No, it's just it's steep, but it's not a very long climb.
No, yeah, not at all.
I've always felt like the first day and a half or so, that I'm out, it doesn't matter whether it's turkey hunting or elk hunting or whatever it is. It seems like it takes me like a day and a half to kind of get my legs,
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Got to get the mountain legs.
Just there's nothing, I don't, I go to the gym 4 or 5 days a week, and me and my wife do these CrossFit classes and all sort of crap. And there's nothing you can do to get prepared for hiking on the side of a hill other than hiking on the side of a hill.
Right.
And your feet are crooked, like your feet are sideways.
Yeah. And you can't simulate that as much as you can try.
Unless you're a runner, I suppose, but I ain't running unless somebody's chasing me. So.
Or you see a rattlesnake.
No, I just start shooting. Man, I hate those things.
Yep, I do too. I don't like them at all. I got some birdshot rounds for those things.
Hey, Kirk, you remember that rattlesnake I saw when we were turkey hunting?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
it was in that little tiny hole in the ground. I was like, Kirk, what is this? And I looked down, and there's like this balled up rattlesnake, and the hole was probably the size of a tangerine, and there's a full snake curled up in that sucker. Kirk comes back and looks down and goes, "Well, I wished you hadn't seen that." And there was holes everywhere. We were watching where we were sitting, like, what the hell are we even in? Freaking could be rattlesnakes all around here. That was a trip. Because I'd never seen one before. I was like, what the hell is that snake?
That
got all sorts of little diamonds on its back. Freaking crazy looking rattlesnake. That's awesome.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm always on edge now looking at those. Because I took you up there, Dave. Or we went up there last time.
I would have been like,
I was like, right here in this spot's where we saw. Right, there's been a couple more holes in that ground. Right here's where Kirk and I saw that rattlesnake.
Yep.
Yeah, that little sucker, man. I was shocked. I was like, this is crazy, but they're there.
Oh, yeah, they're everywhere.
Just don't watch where you squat. All right, buddy. Well, I appreciate you coming on. I don't want to. I mean, I'm trying to be sensitive of the time, just because I know last time was kind of short, and it's 8:00. I know you've got things to do, and we got a giveaway we want to touch on before we get out of here.
Yeah.
Do you want to hang out for the giveaway, or got time?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. So we have these Phelps game calls. This is their new. This is the aluminum pot call. It's aluminum over glass, and then they have the Phelps turkey box call here. It's a Podduck over poplar. So we haven't even used them yet. This is going to be our first year using them.
Yep.
And we had the Phelps website up here. They got their new turkey calls at phelpsgamecalls.com, but we're going to give these two away. We're going to do it through Instagram. And basically, we're going to have to watch our Instagram to see how you can win it.
That's right.
We're also this is going to be posted on YouTube as well. So you're going to get the instructions there too. But these are going to be free to 2 lucky people.
Mm-hmm. And
we're going to give them away within the next week and a half because season's here.
That's right. So we want to give these away so you are ready for the turkey season. We also have diaphragms that we're going to be giving away. So every week we're going to have a new contest to give away these calls so that you are ready for the turkey season.
Awesome.
Yep.
Okay, well, we'll get the instructions out to everybody so they can enter to win, and then good luck. We will get these out the door as soon as we select a winner.
That's right.
Probably going to be some sort of random way, but...
Yeah, we'll have the details up on Instagram and also on YouTube. So.
Okay. Well, I think that's it for tonight.
Yeah, man. That's it.
That was a good little episode here. We're excited about turkey season, as always. And if you find yourself in the turkey woods, stick to it. Rattle the box call, baby. They'll come. All right. Have a good night, everybody.